Yo, what's the deal, fam? It's your man Ease. Yesterday I did a video asking you guys did Ransom move on too fast from the project with DJ Premier, the reinvention, because he has a new single out, Boom Aye, produced by Conductor Williams, but the project right around the corner. And his DJ Premier produced album came out on Halloween 2025. Got some mixed reviews. Some people said they like the fact that artists release music time and time again. This is the climate we're in, people's attention spans and things of that nature. And my only resistance to that particular point is the fact that what happened to live shows? My thing is that if you do a project with DJ Premier, a legend, an icon, why would you approach it the same way you would do an album with any other producer? In that case, is it really monumental? Did you really maximize the opportunity? Some people stated how Ransom doesn't tour. I didn't say go on a tour, but what about like a pop-out show out in New Jersey, your hometown, or hopping on the DJ Premier and Alchemist tour for, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 dates and connect with the people, because we've gotten to a point to where we think that an artist performing is doing fans or supporters or anyone a favor, when in fact, the supporters are going to pay you to perform on stage your material. So it's not necessarily a favor, it's one hand washes the other, right? So that was something that jumped out to me. I just felt like it was kind of rapid that he turned the corner so quick on the next project. I understand that you have to continue to release music to keep eyes on your catalog, on you as a whole in this present day. That's what we've been conditioned to think, but at the same time, I think when you do an album with someone like DJ Premier, you should utilize that resource, and that could have skyrocketed him, well, not skyrocketed in a sense, but taken him to the next level. Because whether or not you like the project or not, him doing a show with Primo, just Primo's name alone is gonna sell out. I'm not saying do a stadium or an arena. You could have did a couple of small venues. I've seen Sky Zoo do it. Release an album, perform it from top to bottom, every song, and the show was sold out and people were very appreciative. You don't necessarily have to tour. So that's just my take on that, because it just feels like a wasted opportunity to work with DJ Premier, and yet you treat it like any other project that you've done. You move from it that quickly. And once again, you're gonna keep saying, we're in this stage in time where people's attention spans are, I even said it, that of an infant, where they don't focus. But there are ways to keep people engaged in a sense. Because not saying you can't release subsequent music, but the reinvention could still be something that it still had legs. You haven't performed that. The whole album is only 7 tracks, 6 with a skit. You could have performed that, perhaps, and premiered the new music to the fans live on stage. Now you have some actual footage of you performing on stage, and that's something that fans haven't really seen of you, because if you search for Ransom's live performances, I wasn't able to find any, and I find that kind of odd for an MC. So that's just my take on that. As we speak about upcoming releases, Nas and DJ Premier are gonna produce or gonna release their album, not sure of the title, through the Legend Has It campaign. December's right around the corner, so I'm assuming it's gonna happen in 2025. And my question to you is, I spoke about Ransom in the past, what would be your opinion if they treated this album just like any other album they've done? What if DJ Premier took the same approach that he is taking with Rock Marciano, with The Gorgeous Profession, or the reinvention with Ransom, as far as interviews go and the rollout? Because I think such a monumental album, you waited 3 decades plus, there should be some type of interviews, right, with a credible interviewer, journalist, who has an array of different topics to speak about, or knowledge about music as a whole, to ask these individuals about the project. And granted, I'm speaking because I don't know what's happening overall, but I'm asking you, what are you expecting? Because some people are gonna say, yo, I just want the music. But I think that for a pairing like this, it deserves much more than just the album as fans. We want the history behind it, right? The connection. What were the studio sessions like? What was it like working with each other from the differences between '94 and the present day? Nas, when you got in there, what type of samples were you looking for? Did DJ Premier play you any beats from '94 to '98? Did you select any of those? Did he play them and you said, nah, let's move on and go on in a different direction? What is the direction of the album? How do you want this to be remembered? Do you feel as though you intentionally stepped away from what you guys are accustomed to doing and tried something different? Did you push DJ Premier in a sense? Did you submit verses or songs and he declined? Did you punch in? Did you write every line and recite it off pen and the pad? Simple things like that, man. That's what I would want to know, and you can only get that through interviews or visuals or documentaries. This particular album, Nas and Primo, is not just an album that's coming out. This is history once again. How many times people wait 3 decades for something and it still has a buzz around it or behind it, you know? Most people would give up on it. Like, think about Dre and Detox. It was a mythical figure to the point that people was like, it's never coming out. And now that you mentioned it, people probably laugh about the whole idea now. We get a chance to see DJ Premier and Nas put an album together, and I don't think it should be thought of as just another album. In a sense, I think it should be, it should take on, they should approach it as if it's a historical artifact and do the necessary work. I was one from the beginning that said I wasn't necessarily yearning or asking for this album because I knew the expectations would be through the roof, and trying to garner that same acceptance or that same energy while working with each other once every decade will probably be virtually impossible. But now that we're here and Legend Has It campaign, I want to know the process of it more than I want to hear the actual music, if that makes any sense to you. But let me know what you think in the comment section. That's a couple of things that came to mind regarding the Nas and DJ Premier album. And once again, man, it's your man Ease at the Ease Experience. You could achieve anything in this world through sheer hard work and patience. God is the greatest. Go get yours. Shia.
And I remember when this hit me during a shift, that if somebody came into the hotel driving a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, I would stop and look at the car and be impressed. But I would never look at the driver and say, that guy's so cool. What I would do is I would imagine myself as the driver. And I imagined that if I was driving, people would look at me and say, look at Morgan, he's so cool. And one day I was like, do you see the irony? I don't care about the driver, but I want to be the driver because I think people will care about me. And it was this stark realization of like, nobody is thinking about you as much as you are. They're busy thinking about themselves. And even when people are impressed with your house or your car, what they're actually doing is saying, if I had Mel's house, if I had Morgan's car, then I would be happy. Then people would look at me. And so the idea that everyone is pretty selfish and self-centered in that sense, where they're not impressed with you. They might be impressed with your stuff because they're imagining having your stuff. Once I came to terms with that, my desire for impressing other people plunged.
Hey, yo, Ease.